Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dream Vessels Maker of the Month interview. I am your spokesperson, Ashley, and I'm so excited to be here talking to Kimberly. Kimberly, who is the brand owner of MILKA Method, an incredible candle company. Thank you so much for being here. How does it feel to be chosen as Dream Vessels Maker of the Month for March?
I am honored, I'm humbled, and we're in an industry where it's a candle maker just about in every city. And so just to be considered for this honor has been absolutely humbling. So I'm grateful and I'm just honored.
Well, let's dive into a little bit more about like your candle making as a passion, right? So do you make your candles in your kitchen? Like where does the magic happen for the Milka method?
So I'm in the office right now. This is the home office, and it was so crazy when we moved into this home. My husband and I, when we were at our first home, I had to get an office downtown Columbia because the space was not sufficient. So I had to find a place to make candles because my business was growing, and I wanted people to be able to pick them up. If curbside pickup, it was a pandemic, if they wanted to get some candles, and it worked. It worked great. So when we moved into this home in July, and I'm like, I got a built-in office now. Shelving, everything was already in place. Again, effortless. and it's so wild because now that I think about it, my lease was not up to this February on the office downtown. So this February it just passed. And the collective, my new lease at the collective started in December. And I was like, okay, I really want the collective because it's more traffic, it's more opportunity. And I could just, now that I have the space, I can go back to making them at home. I had already transferred my business license, my insurance, everything to make it okay to make them at home. Mm-hmm. And my issue came up of trying to get out of my lease with the office downtown, right, so I could go into the collective.
Right.
And I say all that to say, the lady down the hall was unaware that I was leaving, and I was getting ready to just pay double leases. I didn't want to do it, but I said, you know what? I'm in a situation. I just need to do it. The lady down the hall said, I spoke with the owner of the building and I want your office. And I had to give the collective an answer that next day because I couldn't delay it anymore. They were going to find another candle maker to take my spot at the collective. And that's why I just trust my journey. It just works out. I don't try to finagle it. I don't try to speed it up. I don't try to alter it. Beauty taught me the more you try to expedite things or the more you try to market and do all this extra stuff, you really just burn yourself out in the end. Wow. And you just get tired. So it all works itself out. But this is the home office. It's a lot of space, hardwood floor, so it's easy to clean up my wax when I mess up. So everything hurt.
It's a good perk.
My tables came from Amazon. I have a pot with the sprout on it and everything. As you can see in the background, I have like all my fragrances lined up, and I try to keep one shelf open for my wholesale orders that go out so I can categorize them and make sure they're curing in the same amount of light. So yeah, it's awesome.
It sounds awesome. Now, do you do everything by yourself, or do you have like an intern, or does your husband hop in to help you? Like, how do you keep the machine moving?
I do everything myself. My husband does help me with deliveries because those can get heavy, as a lot of times orders are 100+ candles at a time unless I'm working on a smaller project. I do have a smaller contract where it's only 25 candles, which is great. Mm-hmm. But I don't have any help. So I am the manager, the marketer, the media, the social media manager. I am the, customer service representative. I am, everything. So, and I just take it one day at a time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do you find inspiration for, your new candles? Where do you find inspiration to, maybe try out a new fragrance or try out a new vessel? Where does that inspiration come from?
Honestly, I want this brand to be as ethical and environmentally friendly as possible. So I only source my fragrance oils from one supplier because they are certified clean scents. And if you're a candle maker, you already know who that is. And honestly, a lot of my inspiration just comes from me sitting and just writing things down. I'm a writer. I love to write. So in December, when I got with the collective, I felt so inspired and motivated by all the women around me. And I'm like, these women have 2 and 3 children. They're realtors, they are business owners, they're school teachers, full time, and they run a business. I'm like, this is amazing. Where am I missing it? And I noticed that I was not prioritizing my time efficiently. So I sat down in December and I mapped out each collection for all of 2022. So now all I have to do is order labels because I already know what I want to launch next month. I already know what I want. And every month has a theme. I went to nationalcalendar.com and I found out what was the focus of each month. So April, I think it's May. May is mental health awareness month. So I already have my May collection already mapped out. I just got to order the labels for them. That's all. Wow. So I already know what's coming and I just got to make it, order the supplies to do it. But I'm not stressing last minute about, oh, what should I launch this week? The entire year has been planned out for MILKA Method.
Wow. So planning ahead is really a game changer.
Yes.
And I'm sure that also helps with burnout, right? Because you know exactly what's in front of you.
Yes. And not being distracted or getting deflected because another company launched something that probably sold out in minutes, but we still need what you have to offer too, So yeah.
Oh, so many gems, so many tools. Man, I just know this interview is just going to inspire so many people. So once again, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here and doing everything that you do. So I guess as we start to wrap up this interview, I kind of want to talk about, I know that you were initially in beauty and cosmetology, and then you were led to do candles. If you could retire today, would you? Or, do you still want to maybe grow and see what else could come next? Are you open to that, or are you just really happy to where you are at the moment?
I think that if I'm happy, then I need to go ahead and transition into the next life. I want to continue evolving. Believe it or not, I knew when I went in beauty that that's not something I would do into my 40s and 50s. I just knew it, being 33 and turning 34 next month. I can honestly say that this is the most I feel at home in my life. Ooh. I really feel planted. A lot of times we do things because it's a passion or we're good at it or it's a talent or a skill. But if you talk to a lot of people, especially creatives, there is so many dynamics to creatives to where it's hard to kind of hone in on that one skill set because most creatives are multifaceted. And even now incorporating floral design into MILKA Method and understanding that, hey, events are not my thing and I don't need to add them. I just love doing arrangements and making people's day, whether it's a birthday or anniversary. Understanding that when you're really called to something, even though your passion may change, your purpose will never change. And I think as creatives, we have to understand that ultimately, though we are, building beautiful things and making beautiful things with our hands, we are here for people. And I think we lose sight of that, as we travel on our journeys because we want, well, not me, but I see a lot of people, they want the money, they want the notoriety, they want to be able to retire themselves or their spouses or their families from their careers and live this life of wealth. But just understanding that we're in wealth every day because we're utilizing something that someone else was afraid to use, So the evolution of me is just beginning, but I do feel at home. I don't feel like I need to change industries. Unless God tells me to, then I have to be obedient, but as you can see, I'm not in control anyway. So, but I feel at home. I feel like it's just bigger than candles. It really is. It really is.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. It's more meaning to it. Yeah.
Now, I know it's bigger than candles and I know there's more meaning to it, but is there any way we could see maybe like one or two of these beautiful pieces of bliss that you've created for us? Can we just have a little
Yeah.
a little like showcase of, what the Milka Method brand candle looks like? Do you have any there that we can look at, or, how can
So those are all fragrance oils. My Infinia jars are currently in store, so it's
No,
hard. I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. That's good too. If it's all out for people to buy, I get it. I
Yeah.
totally get it. And
This
we
is the
can
main.
send everyone to your Instagram page and to your website so they can see your beautiful assortment there, because I already follow you and I've already seen it, and it's really, really incredible. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for this time. You have been
Thank
such
you.
an incredible, incredible guest in person. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being our maker of the month. And just before we end, if there is, someone watching who is a little unsure about starting their journey, what advice would you give to them?
Keep going. You never know what tomorrow holds. And a lot of times we let a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or an uncertain week or uncertain day make us stop. But you have to keep going to see what the end is. If not, you're going to always deal with the spirit of regret and wondering what would have happened if I had to just keep going. Especially with candle makers. I know it's just like the beauty industry. There's a stylist on every corner. It's always, it's so many of us. And I didn't realize how saturated this industry was until I started. But that doesn't mean anything because, you have so many different sections of retail, so many different sections of the marketplace. So I encourage you to keep going and really find out who you are while you're on this journey. And maybe you start on this journey just for you to realize who you are, personally. What are your strengths and weaknesses? I'll tell people too, business builds character. So if there's any character attribute that you're lacking in, business will expose it. So if you're overly sensitive, you tend to respond from, fear and emotion than you do, fairness. So just keep going and continue to travel your journey, your way, your pace, and give yourself grace. Nobody's perfect. There's going to be hard days. There's going to be good days, but the bottom line, just live your days to the fullness.
Oh, live your days to the fullest. I totally, totally love that. So how can we follow you? Where can we see your products? Tell us how we can keep this relationship going with the Milka Method.
I'm on Instagram at Milka Method, and then I just started a Facebook profile reluctantly. That's Milka Method too. I haven't done a page because I'm still trying to figure out Facebook and how all that works. But anyway, I do have a profile on Facebook called Milka Method. I'm in the Dream Vessels group, so you can reach out to me there. And the website is milkamethodco.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I can't think of a better way to end than on that. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for this amazing interview. Thank you for being so open and so inspiring. And I can't wait to buy my Milka Method candle. I can't wait to get my handwritten note. I am very excited to be a part, of your brand. And, thank you again for taking time out of your day to talk to us and help inspire others and, give some insights. You just taught us so much. And I'm thankful, so I know our audience is thankful too. And I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you so, so very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.